right? There's going to be 5 questions, just same order, just the first 5 questions on the test, and there's another set of 5 just like that. So by reviewing these 5, that's the review of the first 10 questions on the test. And the rest are the things that we just went over in the homework. Right? So in this case, it was a solve by substitution. Sure. This was a solve by substitution. Okay. Remember, the first step of solving by substitution is solve for one of the variables. Right? You made kind of a fundamental mistake if you started. You could still get it right. Right? You could say, I'm going to solve this and say y equals x minus 3. But why would you? Both of these are already solved for one variable. When you're presented with a situation where they're already solved, I mean, this was the easiest kind. If x equals this and x equals that, then you could have gone right away to, I might not be on the right, okay, y squared plus 1 equals y plus 3. Okay, and okay, a fair number did that part. There was a pretty common mistake done at this point here, that for that you missed all the points, because this is just a fundamental problem, which is thinking that you can come up here now and do something like, I'm going to subtract y from both sides, and that's going to give me y plus 1 equals 3. That does not work, right? You can't say y squared minus y and get a y, right? Maybe on this side it cancels the y, but it doesn't cancel on this side. Or if maybe in your mind, because some of it was a little hard to see, maybe you thought that was a divide. Well, if it's a divide, then everything's got to be divided, right? So that was a very common mistake in all 3 classes, that you couldn't solve this. Remember, if it's a quadratic, you're trying to get all the terms on one side, 0 on the other. And, you can't do y squared minus y and get a y. They're not like terms, right? What it should have looked like is y squared minus y minus 2 equals 0. Right? Solving a quadratic is old news. Get everything on one side, 0 on the other, factor. Y minus 2 times y plus 1. So y equals 2 and negative 1. Okay, then we still need the x values. So you've got to plug them into either one. Right? It doesn't matter because it's got to be the same thing. If I put in a 2, I'm going to get 5. Right? X of 2 equals 2 plus 3 equals 5. So that means the point is 5, comma 2. And if you plug in the 1, let's say x of negative 1, then you get negative 1, edit. Negative 1 plus 3 equals 2, so that is 2, comma negative 1. And those are points. You can't say like, there's only like 1 or 2 that said it like, okay, the x values are 5 and 2, and the y values are 2 and negative 1. That's not sufficient. These are points. The x and the y's go together, right? It's just not a list of x's and a list of y's, right? They're associated with each other. These are the 2. And, if a lot, because at this point, if you made this mistake, and then you subtracted 1 and you got 2, which seems like it's one of the answers, but I'm sorry, you're not going to get a credit for a wrong answer that was got by completely a wrong method. Right? It's an accident that it came out that way.